Hi, and welcome once again to On Stage at the Upper Room. Tonight we are also, I shouldn't say also, but we are interviewing the one and only, and I've used legendary with both Hadley and Kelly, but you are legendary.
In my own mind, yes.
Well, you're a legend in your own mind.
That's correct.
So am I.
And a rumor in my own room.
Bob Bennett, everybody. Bob, welcome to the Upper Room.
Ron.
I shouldn't say welcome to the Upper Room. You've been here, oh my gosh, I don't know how many times, but you are one of my favorite singer-songwriters, poets, wordsmiths. You are one incredible guy.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You, like Kelly, Kelly Willard, we just finished interviewing her, but you kind of came on the scene a little bit later after the Jesus movement, probably around the same time
That's
I did,
right.
around mid-70s.
All these years later, people kind of lump me in with the first wave of people.
Yeah.
But the fact is, I came along in the late 70s and was kind of their little brother.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, I write songs and sing. Can I do that too? and I had so much encouragement and kindness from all of those artists, the guys in Love Song and Chuck Butler and Odin Fong and Malcolm Wilde and all all the guys who were inventing the wheel. When they saw us new guys coming up behind, they weren't protecting their territory. They were saying, come and join us.
Sure.
It was wonderful.
Yeah, and that's what it was all about.
Yep.
Yeah, and should have been. So I know some of your story because you and I kind of grew up in the same area in Downey. I grew up actually in Pico Rivera, but I lived in Downey later. But I know that you and your buddy Dan Ruppel from Isaac Air Freight were working at a little store. Tell that story a little bit.
We worked at a store called Licorice Pizza, a Southern California phenomenon.
Yeah.
And back in the stoner days of the 70s, it's like, look, it's a vinyl record. It's like a licorice pizza. And this is back when zoning laws, it was like a record store and a head shop, believe it or not, all in one thing.
Yeah.
So you had to
you can get everything taken care of in one
But
stop.
what happened is, to make a long story short, Dan and I have been best friends since we were 10 years old, and we were both working at the record store.
Yeah.
Well, we both came to faith and found out about this genre of music called Jesus music, and we started ordering all these albums into the store. And so we actually had a better Christian music section in the Licorice Pizza store than they did at the Bible bookstore down the street. We had tons and tons of stuff.
Really?
And we listened to all of it. We got the best education possible just by working in a record store and knowing what to order in.
So that's how you kind of learned about a lot of these different artists, because you just ordered them all in
and they were speaking my musical language.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, it didn't take long for the brain synapses to fire, and I connect the dots and go, I play music. Maybe I could do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, at what point did you pick up the guitar and start playing?
I started playing when I was 10 years old. My older brother Michael is 8 years older than I am, and he taught me how to play. This was during the folk music boom of the 60s and stuff.
And hootenannies and all
he took me to like folk clubs and hootenannies and all that kind of stuff. So I was exposed to live music very early on, and I camped out next to the record player and listened to all these folk records. And so that's what gave me the fever. About music.
Yeah, and you were one fine guitar player.
Thank you.
And then the wordsmiths. One of the things I'll tell a story to the folks is that we had an event a couple months ago where we had to cancel and move it to another location because of a situation in the venue we use. And you wrote a song about it in one day and shared it called. What did you name it?
I think it was, what it was is they were doing a huge drive-through nativity, with animals and sets and everything.
Right.
And so I wrote a thing about the drive-by nativity, Jesus outranking. Anyway, it was a lot of fun to put together.
And you do one of the best Neil Diamond parodies. Not Neil Diamond, Neil Young.
Oh, Neil
parodies.
Young, that's right. Yeah, I do the Neil Young Christmas songs.
Yeah.
And Neil has not, old man sliding down our chimney at night, leaving gifts under the tree. Stuff like that. Just nonsense. It's a guy who has way too much time on his hands, right?
But it works. It's funny. It's
a lot of fun.
Yeah. So how many albums have you actually recorded?
Depending on how you count them, whether you count solo or projects with other people or whatever, it's about 12.
Yeah.
Which is not an inordinate amount of records for a 40-year span.
Yeah.
But it's the best that Mr. Underachievement can manage.
Underachievement. I wouldn't say that. Your reputation precedes you, and you're well loved all over. I know all over the States and definitely in parts of the world where your music is touched.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Is there any new music coming out?
Well, that's always the question you hope you have a wonderful, cogent answer to. And
Sure.
my answer is only that I'm continuing to write songs. And I still think in terms of albums.
Right.
Although my own kids are going, Dad, you're going to have to start releasing tracks 1 or 2 at a time. I have to join the 21st century.
Yeah.
But I still think in terms of albums. So I'm hoping to have enough songs to go back in the studio this year and do a new album. And I hope I have another 1 or 2 in me that matter.
Well, you probably have a backlog of music that you've written. And
I've got lots of fragments. I just need to get under the hood and finish a lot of the stuff that I start. And
that's good terminology.
And come up with 12 or 13 of them. But, if Paul Simon can make great records into his 70s, I hope I can. I hope I can do the same thing.
Absolutely. Well, you are very, very well loved here at the Upper Room because people love to come out and see you, and I know you're very well loved in the whole Christian contemporary music element, and so we're thankful that you're here tonight. We're thankful that you've been part of what we're doing at the Upper Room, and you've been one of the best promoters for me because every time we have an event, you go on and do some kind of plug. And it's always just wonderful. And you even put your wordsmith into that.
It's my honor to do it. This is, folks, for those of you that are watching from points far away from here, I don't mean to rub it in, but there are just not many places that have what we have here with the Upper Room.
Yeah.
What you do for the community. It's not just that I have a dog in the hunt, but even if I were just a rank and file listener coming, the people that you present, the point of view that you have and the kind of artists and speakers and things that you want to do here, this is not as, it's rare. It's a rare thing now. It's not as common as it used to be.
Right.
So I'm totally behind the mission of what you're doing, even if I wasn't one of the guys who was a happy participant.
Right. Well, and I appreciate that. And without getting on my hobby horse, I always say that the secular music, secular fans honor their aged. And one of the things that I'm a little discouraged with is that the Christian church has not done the same thing with some of the artists who have been around for years. And one of the things that I see in you, in Hadley Hawkinsmith, and Kelly Willard, and so many of the others that we've had, is that you're still vital. And not only are you still vital, but you have so many years of experience behind that you're not just the little kid, like you said, that came up, hey, I'm here too. Because that gives a wisdom and a depth to the music.
Well, you always hope. I mean, nostalgia is kind of a dirty word in our culture, and I know that when certain people listen to some of my older songs and stuff, there is a nostalgia. There's a connection with the past.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I wouldn't trade that for the world.
Yeah.
But as you say, you want to be relevant in the present moment. You want to be creating something in the here and now, and so you hope that you can do something in the present tense that matters.
Exactly.
And then you've got 40 years of material to draw from at that point.
Well, I think there's a resurgence with some of the younger people that are looking at that. I'm seeing that, and I hope it continues.
I want to cheer them on. I want to be the one-man cheering section for any Christian who has an artistic inclination, no matter what their genre or what their field. I want to be the guy that stands up and says, take my job, do it well, and let me do anything I can to support you. That's what I'd love to be doing.
Amen to that. Well, Bob, thanks so much for being with us, and we're looking forward to tonight. Of course, when this comes out, this concert will be over, but
it'll be in the history books.
It'll be in the history books. But if you're watching and you didn't come to this, you got to come next time and come to the Upper Room. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Ron Strand. Thank you.